Okay, so I am, should I start? Yeah, I'll start from the beginning. So this is on combining like terms. Okay, so we're gonna go over that today. Um, so over here, we want to combine the like terms. So again, we can move them around. Negative 10 minus 18 plus 2k minus 32. Oops, 32k. Okay, so I can circle this, right? So I'm moving them. I move the circle, right? Actually, you know what? Let me do it again. I can move, so this guy I put over here, and then this guy I'm going to put over here, so it's minus 18. And this guy put over here, which is plus 2k, and then the minus 32k comes in the back. 32k here. What? 32k. So now that they're next to each other, these two, you can put that in your calculator. Negative 10 minus 18 is minus 28. And then this 2k minus 32k is minus 30k. And that's it. Next one. First of all, we have to take care of the parentheses, right? So I want to pretend there's a 1 in here. Okay, so negative 1 times negative 4 is 4m, positive. Negative 1 and negative 2k is positive 2k, right? Negative 1, negative times a negative is a positive, and 1 times 2 is 2. Next is negative 3 and positive 8, so it's negative times a positive is a negative. 3 times 8 is 24m, and negative times a negative is a positive. So again, we can circle, we can move things around. So I have 4m minus 24m, then plus 2k plus 15. I can combine only these two, because they're the same. They're both m's. So positive 4m minus 24m is minus 20m plus 2k plus 15. And these we cannot add because they're all different. This is an m, this is a k, and this is just a number. So here we are going to combine the like terms first, and then we're going to evaluate. So to combine like terms would be 6k plus 6k plus negative 8a plus 15. So we're going to do 6k plus 6k, right? This one, and then plus, or I'm sorry, not plus, minus 8a plus 15, minus 8a plus 15. So some of you might want to do it, let me do it this way first. So I can combine these two. 6k plus 6k is 12k. Then minus 8a and minus 8a is minus 16a. And plus 15 and plus 15 is plus 30. So that's one way you could have done it. If some of you want to take the shortcut, it's okay. So you can do, it's 2 times 6k, right? You can put it in parentheses, plus 2 times negative a plus 15. And then if you do the stereo property, 2 times 6k is 12k. Positive 2 and then negative 8 is minus 16a. And then positive times a positive is plus 30. Notice that you get the same answer if you do it this way or this way. Now it's telling you to find the value of the expression. So we're going to go, let me write that, 12k minus 16a plus 30. So we're going to substitute. So a equals negative 1 and k is 3. So I'm going to replace it here. So 12 times k is 3, so I'm going to change the k for 3. Minus 16, and I'm going to change the a to negative 1. That's 30. Now order of operations. Right, I have to do multiplication first, so we do 12 times 3, which is 36. Don't forget there's a multiplication here. Negative 16 and negative 1 is positive 16, and then plus 30. Remember, multiplication comes before addition and subtraction. So 36 plus 46 is 52 plus 30. So the total here would be 82. No, same thing here. So I'm just going to do it the long way. Negative 3a plus 9 minus negative 3a plus 9 plus 5c plus 10. You can do it this way, or can you apply the distributive properties? Up to you. So let's combine all the a's. Negative 3a, negative 3a. So negative 3a and negative 3a is negative 6a, right? Because we're adding those two. Then 9 plus 9 plus 10. 9 plus 9 is 18, plus 10 is 28. And then plus 5c. If you did a distributive property, you would have gotten 2 times negative 3a plus 9 plus 5c plus 10. You would have done the distributive property, negative 6a plus 18 plus 5c plus 10, and then you could have combined the 18 and 10, and you would have gotten negative 6a plus 28 plus 5c. So you notice that they are the same answer. Evaluate the expression, so we're going to take the expression which is negative 6a plus 28 plus 5c. We're going to replace, so we're going to replace the a, change the a and the c. So negative 6 times negative 2, because a is negative 2, so I changed, plus 28 plus 5 times, and c is 4, so I change it. So it's 6 times 2, but it's a negative times a negative, so 6 times 2 is going to be positive 12, plus 28, plus, and 5 times 4 is 20. Add all that up, I get 60, I believe. Now, remember, if you have to simplify the expression. So if you actually wrote this, I would not give you any point. I need you to add all the like terms to come up with a simplified expression. More? Yeah, there's more. So this one you might actually be better off doing the distributive property. So I have 2 times 8b, right, because there's 2 of them, plus 4 times negative 4m plus 7, because there's 4 of them. You multiply, 2 times 8b is 16b. Now we can do this distributive property here. Positive times a negative is negative 16m, and positive 4 and positive 7 is plus 28. Can we combine anything? No, because that's it. They're all different. 16b minus 16m plus 28. We're going to change, right? So the b is negative 3, so it's going to be 16 times negative 3 minus negative 16, and then we're going to change the m here. We put a 5 plus 28. Don't subtract, don't add anything, because you have to do multiplication first. 16 times negative 3 is negative 48. Then you're going to multiply, and you got minus 16 times 5 is 30. And then plus 28. Now you'll do these two subtraction. Negative 48 and negative 30 is negative 78. And then plus 28 is going to give you 50. Okay. This one, same thing. So let's use this distributive property. So there's 2 times 5c plus 2 times negative 5k plus 8 and minus 2c. So that's what we have so far. So let's simplify the expression. So 2 times 5c is 10c. Positive times a negative is negative. 2 times 5 is 10k. Positive 2 times positive 8 is plus 16. And then minus 2c. Can I combine anyone? Yes, I can. So if you look closely, this is a c and this is a minus 2c. So those are the same. 10c minus 2c, it's 8c. And then minus 10k plus 16. So that's our simplified expression. We're going to substitute. So we're going to use that expression and substitute. So 8c minus 10k plus 16. So let's substitute the c here. So I'm going to change the c with negative 4 minus 10, and I'm going to change the k to 8. So times 8 plus 16. So do the two multiplications first and then add and subtract. So positive times a negative is a negative. 8 times 4 is 32. Well, here you can multiply. It's 10 times 8, or you can think of it negative 10 times 8. So I can write minus 10 times 8 is 80. plus 16. Do these two, negative 32 and negative 80 is negative 112. And then plus 16 is going to give you some negative number, which 96 sounds like about right, but negative. Okay. Exit ticket? Nope. Plickers, yes. So you're going to do a plickers. So I'll do it here. So it's, again, we can use advantage. It's 4 times 7x, because you can see there's 4 7x, plus 2 times 8y plus 6. All right, so we have to simplify this, and 4 times 7x is 28x. Positive times a negative is a negative 16y. And positive times a positive is plus 12. So there's our expression. There's nothing else to combine. These are all different terms. They're not like terms. So let's substitute. And you know what? I'm just going to do it on top here. So I'm going to replace the x with negative 2. So I'm going to put a negative 2, and I'll put negative in parentheses. Minus 16 times 5, which is the y, plus 12. 28 times negative 2 is negative 56. Minus 16 times 5 is 80, plus 12. These two first becomes negative 136 plus 12, and negative 136 plus 12 equals negative 124. 124, and that should have been the final answer. Okay, so from there, you're going to go to the whiteboards and continue. Erase this, your work there. And that's it. Not that's it. Now I have to do your sheet. Let me just find it. Not that. Ooh, it's a lot. But I'll do it anyway. Why am I doing that? So, the first part of your, and it's going to, okay. So, like terms, simplified each expression. So these are not like terms. So I can think of this as 3x squared plus negative 7x squared, if you like. Right? So remember, the subtracting is adding the opposite. So the subtraction would change the opposite, and the 7x squared becomes negative 7x squared. Now, you can tell that there are more negatives, so the answer is going to be negative 4x squared. Not evaluating, because we don't know how much x is, so we leave it like that. 12x plus 9x, that's easy enough, 21x. 4b plus, so is 4b plus 2, let me circle, 4b plus 2b is 6b. And then we have 6 minus 4, which is 2, and then 2 plus 19 is positive 21. 4c and minus 11c, it's going to be negative 7c. Positive 18d and positive 5d is going to be plus 23d. P's, they're all p, well, this one is different, the p squared, so we can add the p cubed. So 10p3 minus 2p3 is going to be 8p to the third power. Plus 7p to the second power, which we don't combine. B, don't forget that in front of that b, there's always a 1. So 1b and minus 2b, negative 1b. Right? And then we have negative 3a plus 6a. So negative 3a plus 6a, there's more positive, so it's going to be 3a. And 3a plus a is going to give you 4a, because there's a 1 in there. Where am I? G. Okay, so this one I have to do the distributive property first, so I get 5a minus 40 minus 6a. Now I can combine this guy and this guy. Make sure you get the minus there. So 5a minus 6a is minus 1a, and then minus 40. Here, 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 4 is 8n to the third power. Positive times a positive is positive, so it's plus 24n cubed, and 8 times 5 is 40. I can combine the 14, which is positive, and the 40, and I get 54. And then negative 8n and positive 24n cubed, they're both like terms, they both have n to the third power, so I can combine negative 8 plus 24 is just going to give me positive 16n cubed. 11x plus 22 minus, because it's negative times positive, is minus 12x. Negative 4 and negative 7 is negative 28. I can combine this guy with this guy, and I get negative 1x, or just negative x. And positive 22 and minus 28 is negative 6. Remember, you're going to have a calculator in your hands. And this one has decimals, so let me do the ones without. So 6m cubed plus 6n squared. There's a 1 in front of you. A negative 1 times positive 2m is going to be negative 2m squared cubed. And the negative 1 times negative n is going to give me positive n. Who can I combine? I can only combine this guy and this guy, actually. So 6m squared and 2m squared minus 2m squared is 4m squared plus 6n squared plus n, because I can't combine anybody else. These ones I'm not going to do because I'll do it. 237 is 7.4. P minus 2 times is 3.2r plus 4.5p minus, I have no idea what it is, 21.6r. I can combine items like the p and this p, so 7.4p plus 4.5p, and hopefully I'm doing this right, is 11.9p. And the 2, it's negative 3.2 minus negative 21.6, and that's going to give me a negative 24.8. I have to remove the parentheses, so this one, there is a positive one, so 1 times this is just that, negative 5.9 m. 1 times negative 2.7 is just negative 2.7 m. So this one is negative 1, right, because it's a negative 1 multiplying this 1.2 m and the negative 6. So negative times a positive is a negative 1.2 m. Negative times a negative is going to give me a positive 6.2 m. I can combine the m's. Negative 5.9 and negative 1.2 is going to give me 7.1 m negative. Negative 2.7 n and positive 6.2, so it's going to be, there's more positives, so my answer is going to be positive, and it's going to be 5 minus 2 is 3.5 n, and hopefully I did it correctly. So that's your first page. Your second page is this one, and this is just doing the distributive property. Thank you. Negative 2a minus 10, right? Careful with your signs. Negative 8 minus 12x. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15n. And then 5 times 9 is 45. Negative 7 times m is negative 7m. Negative 7 times 8 is negative 56. Negative 10 and negative 5 is positive 50. Negative 10 and negative 8 is positive 80n. Positive 3 and negative 2 is negative 6b, and positive 3 and negative 9 is negative 27. Positive and positive, it's 8m. Positive and the negative is going to give me negative 16. Negative and a negative, it's going to give me positive 72x. And the negative 8 and the negative 3 is going to give me positive 24. This one, there is no number outside the parentheses, so imagine there's a 1. So let me just make that bigger. So imagine there's a 1 anytime you don't see a number. So it's negative 1 times x is negative x. Negative 1 times positive 9 is going to be negative 9. Okay. There's more. Okay, so there's a little bit more. We're going to simplify. We're going to do this distributive property and then simplify. So again, not a big deal. Negative 12n stays. This is the guy that's doing the distributive property, the 3. So it's plus 3n plus 18. You can combine the n's. Negative 12 and 3n is negative 9n plus 18. Negative 5x is not being, it's not the one doing the distributive property, it's just 3. Positive 3 and positive 7 is plus 21x. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. Combine these two because they're like terms. Negative 5 plus 21 is positive 16x minus 15. 15 that stays outside. It's the negative 7 that's being multiplied by n, so it's negative 7n. Negative 7 times negative 8 is positive 56. Combine like terms. 15n minus 7n is 8n plus 56. Negative 9x stays outside, and we're multiplying. And I don't know why they put the plus, so I'm going to erase this plus. Let's just make it negative 4. So negative 4 times 3 is negative 12x, and negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. I can combine these two. Negative 9 minus 12 is negative 21x plus 18. 12 squared, 12x squared is going to stay outside. Positive 6 times x is positive 6x, and positive 6 times 9 is 54. I cannot combine anyone because they're all different. Negative 5y stays outside waiting. Positive 3 and 7 times positive 7 is plus 21y, and positive 3 times 10 is positive 30. I can combine these two because they're both y's. Negative 5 and 21 is negative 5y plus 21 positive is positive 16y plus 30. Okay, that was it's really simple. Okay, these are really simple questions which you should be super comfortable by now. Now we move on to the other page, which is this one, I believe. Okay. Let's combine the like terms. So we're supposed to combine like terms. So again, this one we've got 4x minus 8 plus 3 minus 2x plus 11 plus y. So let's add them all up, combine the like terms. So if we're adding, again, 4x and minus 2x is going to give us 2x, right? Combine those two. And then plus y, because the y combined was nobody. And then negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5. Negative 5 plus 11 is positive 6. So there is my expression. 2x plus y. So let me write it again. 2x plus y plus 6. Now we're told that x is negative 3 and y equals negative y is 7. So I got to replace 2 times negative 3 plus 7 plus 6. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. And then I'm going to add 7 and then plus 6. This is all going to give me just 7. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is add them up and then replace the variables with the value given to us. 3a minus b, 3a minus b, 3a minus b. So let's just do this 3 property. So it's 3 times 3a minus b. That's going to give us 9a minus 3b. Now that we simplified, we can substitute. It's 9 times negative 4, because the a is negative 4. And we're going to multiply minus 3 times 5, which is the b. 9 times negative 4 is negative 36. And 3 times 5 is 15. So negative 33 minus 15 is negative 41. So this one's going to be a pretty long one, so we're just going to combine the like terms. So let me write it down. 2y minus 3x minus 3. That's positive 9, so plus 9x minus 3y plus 2 plus 12 plus 5x plus 7y. It's a pretty long expression. So let's combine the like terms. All the y's, so 2y minus 3y and plus 7y. So 2y minus 3y is negative 1. Negative 1 plus 7y is going to give me 6 positive y. X is negative 3x plus 9x is 6x. 6x plus 5x is 11x. It's going to be 11x positive. So this is gone, this is gone, this is gone. And then minus 3 plus 2 is negative 1, and negative 1 plus 12 is 11, plus 11. Substitute. X equals negative 2 and y equals 5, so 6 times and y, we're going to change that to 5, plus 11. X is negative 2, so we're going to write times negative 2, plus 11 again. Make sure you multiply first. So you get 6 times 5, which is 30, plus 11 times negative 2, or actually I should just write, if it's positive 11 times negative 2, it's going to be negative 22 plus 11. So now the rest you can put in your calculator, and you're going to get that the value of that expression is going to be a 19. Hopefully I did it right. Okay. Same thing here. You have another expression. So it's going to be 2 times 6 plus 2a, because there's 2 of these. 1, 2. Plus 2 times the other side, which is 3b minus 4a plus 5, right? Because there's 2 of those. Let's do the distributive property. You get 12 plus 2 times 2 is 4a, positive, so it's plus 4 times 3 is 6b. 2 times negative 4a is minus 8a, and then 2 times 5 is 10. Combine like terms. Let's see. 12 I can combine with the 10s, and 12 plus 10 is 22. 4a I can combine with negative 8a, and that's going to give me negative 4a. Right? These two, if you combine positive 4 and negative 8, and then plus 6b. Let's change, so it's going to be 22, and I'll write it here, minus 4 times, and the a is negative 3, so let me change that with negative 3, put it in parentheses, plus 6 times b, which is 1. Right? 22, and then it's a negative times a negative, so it's going to be plus 12, and then 6 times 1 is just plus 6. Final answer, 22 plus 12 is 34, plus 6 is 40. Okay. The idea is the same here. Okay, so we're not that far off. I just don't want to make the video super long. This one. Let me just give myself some. Oh. Right, so let's do the expression. So the expression is going to be, there's 2, right? So it's going to be 2 times negative 2m plus 3, because there's 2 of those sides, plus 2 times 5a plus 5, because there's 2 of those, 1, 2, and then finally minus 2m. Let's do the distributive property. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4m. 2 times 3 is positive 6. 2 times 5, they're both positive, so it's going to give me 10a. And 2 times 5 is just 10, minus 2m. Combine like terms, I can. There's an m here, there's an m here, both negative. Negative 4m minus 2m is negative 6m. And then 6 plus 10, positive, right? Plus 16, and the last one, plus 10a. Let's switch things around. So, then let me just move this down. Here we go. The value, so a is negative 4. I got to switch. So, and m is 6. So negative 6 times 6, because I'm going to change this guy and this guy. Plus 16, plus 10 times, and how much is a? Negative 4. Negative 6 times 6 is negative 36, plus 16, and 10 times negative 4 is going to be negative 40. All that, if you put that in your calculator, you get negative 20, it's going to be negative 60. Okay? This one, where is the expression? This one's a little bit, well, same thing. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 times 5b plus 2 times negative 6k plus 8. 4 times 5b is 20b. 2 and negative 6 is negative 12k. And 2 times 8 is plus 16. Can I combine anything? I can't, because they're all different. So now I can substitute. So b is 3 and k is negative 1. So it's 20 times b, which is 3, minus 12. Instead of k, I'm going to put negative 1 in parentheses because it's negative, and then plus 16. 20 times 3 is 60. Negative times a negative is a positive. 12 times 1 is just 12, and then plus 16. So this one, 60 plus 12 plus 16 is very easy to do. It's just 88. Okay? I think we're on the last page, please. No, we're not. Oh my God. So I'm going to skip that section. Oh my God. No. Skip things around only because it's getting late. No, just do. No, what do I do? What's that? No, it's this button. Okay, so let me see where am I? Let's skip that section there. I'm going to do this one. Actually, I'm going to do this one because we haven't done any of this. We did this yesterday, solving equation inequalities, but you didn't do any of this. So I'm going to take care of that. If you have questions on anything that I skipped, just ask. So it's the same thing, distributive property, but with a fraction. And you have a calculator. Oh my God. Well, negative times a negative is a positive. 1/4 times 20 is 5m. Negative times a negative is a positive again, and 1/4 times 8 is just 2. Ta-da! Next one, it's negative 2/3 times 15, so we're going to be negative 2/3 times this, times 20k, and times 21. Negative 2/3 times 15 is going to be negative 10g. Negative times a negative is a positive. 2/3 times 20, I don't know why I wrote 20. I think I meant to write 21. It's okay, I'm going to leave it as a fraction. And it's going to be 40 over 3k. And 2/3 times 21, it's a negative times a positive, so it's going to be a negative. And it's going to be negative 14m. This one, it's just distributive property. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15k. Negative 5 times negative 8 is positive 40y. Negative 5 times negative 12 is positive 60m. And negative 5 times negative 3w is positive 15w. Can I combine anything? Nope, because they're all different. Last one, 4/5 times negative 25. So this is a distributive property. What's happening? It's going to be negative 20k. 4/5 times 35 is going to be 7, which is negative 28p. Positive times a negative is going to be a negative, and it's going to give me 8. And finally, 4/5 times 5, negative 5a is going to be negative 4a. Can I combine anything again? Nope, because they're all different. The equation, I'm not going to actually, well, you know what, I'll do it because I think you need to know the answer. So it's 3w minus 21 equals negative 12. We're going to do plus 21 on both sides. So I'm going to get 3w is negative 12 and 21 is just 9. Divide by 3, divide by 3, and w equals 3. You can check. I'll do the check. So if you get the check, it's 3. And then inside is 3 minus 7 equals negative 12. 3 times and 3 minus 7 is negative 4. So don't do this distributive property here, okay? Calculate. Because we know both values, I think it's easier if you just subtract these, okay? So negative 3 times negative 4 is negative 12, and left side equals right side. Plus 10 on both sides. I get 35, less or equal to negative 5m. Divide both sides by negative 5, and when you divide both sides of an equality by a negative number, you're going to have to flip the sign the other way. Graph. Here's negative 7. Be careful how you do your number line. Negative 8. Top of 7. We're going to shade. And we want numbers that are greater than negative 7. So numbers that are greater than negative 7 are on this side. And that's our answer. I really don't want to do the last section, but I will do a few. Okay, I'll do 3. So first, see if you can simplify. So in this first one, you can't simplify. There's nothing to combine. So we can go straight to changing the variable with the value. So it's -3 times -2, because a is -2, plus 8 times c, and c is -1, so I'll put it in parentheses, minus d, and d is 5. So that's my expression substituted. So -3 and -2 is 6, positive, and then positive 8 and -1 is -8, and then minus 5. So pretty simple. -2, it's going to give me -7. Let me do this side. I would suggest you do the distributive property, simplify, and then substitute. This makes life easier. So -3 and 5a is -15a. -3 and c is -3c. Positive 4 and 2a is plus 8a. And positive 4 plus 2c is plus 8c. Combine, yes, you can. This and this can be combined. So -15 and positive 8a is -7a. -3c plus 8c is going to be 5c. Combine like terms? No, I'm done. I can substitute now. So -7a is -2, so I'm going to change that. And then plus 5 times c, which is -1. -7 and -2 is 14 positive, and then positive 5 and -1 is -5. Final answer, 9. No, that's not that bad. The third one over here is going to be, well, distributive property. So let me actually do it here. -4b plus 8a. I'm doing this over here. Minus 3 times d, which is minus 3d. And then minus 3 times positive 2b is -6b. Let's switch combine like terms. Yeah, you can. This -4b and -6b I can combine. So -4 and -6 is -10b plus 8a minus 3d. Switch things around. -10b is 3, so I'm going to replace that with 3. Plus 8 times a, and a is -2. Minus 3 times d, and d is 5. Times 5. Let's multiply. -10 times 3 is -30. Positive 8 times 2 is -16, and -3 times 5 is just -15. Put it in a calculator. You're going to get -61. I'll do these. 5 times -1 minus 3 times 5 minus -2. Careful. Okay, when you substitute the a, because that minus sign is the operation. So you're subtracting a, and the value of a is -2. Multiply. -5. Multiply. Negative times 5 is -15. And negative times negatives and negatives is going to give you +2. Put that in your calculator, you're going to get -18. Pretend there's a 1 here. Pretend there's a 1 here. Negative and a positive is -3d. Negative and a negative is positive 5a. Negative and a positive is -d. And negative times a negative is going to be positive a. Can I combine? Yes. This -3d and -d is -4d. 5a plus a is going to be +6a. Now we can substitute. -4 times d, how much is d? Is 5. Plus 6 times a, and how much is a? A is -2. -4 times 5 is -20. Positive 6 and -2 is -12, and that's going to give us a grand total of -32. Uh-oh, battery. Maybe I can finish. So again, here's a distributive property. 5 and -3 is -15c. 5 and 2 both positive is +10a. Negative, so let me put a 1 there. So -1 and 4a is -4a. And -1 and 5c is -5c. I can combine this guy with this guy. -15c and -5c is -20c. That was a plus, right? So positive 10a minus 4a is +6a. switch things, or substitute, I'm sorry. Negative 20 and C is negative 1 plus 6 times A. And how much is A? Negative 2. So I'll put that in parentheses. Negative 20 and negative 1 is positive 20. And then the positive 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. So our total is going to be 8. And I can happily say we're done.